Now on CoastTV News.
Slowing down Rehoboth. 90-day traffic calming efforts targeting speeding on busy streets. Plus, erosion funding fears. South Bethany facing beach replenishment uncertainty after winter storm damage.
Well, we began the day around 25 in Georgetown. We had some patchy freezing fog. We're warming up pretty nicely in the 40s to near 50, tracking even milder weather over the weekend and a little taste of winter in early next week.
This is CoastTV News Midday.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. Today is Friday, February 27th. I'm Grace Eckerly and welcome to CoastTV News Midday. A 90-day effort to slow things down on the streets of Rehoboth Beach. The Streets and Safety Advisory Committee was formed back in November to address speeding on some of the city's busiest roads, and some of the short-term traffic calming measures suggested include painting driveway boxes, speed readers, and more speed limit signs. Anthony Unger says he has been waiting for interventions on Columbia Avenue for more than a decade.
One speed bump like they had down here, people go over it, then they'd speed up and they get up to 40, 50 miles an hour because they were in a rush because the speed bump slowed them. It has to be consistent. And the fact of the matter is that if you go down to first or second, there's stop signs down there. And there's no reason you can't have stop signs down here. So this is sort of like an area where I think it's largely been ignored. And I hope the city's now going to address it.
City officials say they're still working on longer-term speeding solutions. Staying Rehoboth Beach, getting a live look at what was once a snowy scene. It's now getting a little bit of melting action, and no matter what kind of weather you like, this week had a little something for everyone, Chris.
Oh, that's right, Grace. It's been a slow recovery, especially for areas that saw a lot of snow, power outages. But I'll tell you what, the snow melting pretty quickly, even with the temperatures we've had over the past 2 days and not a whole lot of sunlight. We have a lot of sun today. We just have a few high clouds there in Lewis. We're at 45 degrees and visibilities have improved considerably from where we were at this morning. We're at 43 in Georgetown, 46 Seaford, 43 in Salisbury. A few high clouds, a bit more in the way of cloud cover as you make your way from Salisbury, Ocean City points southward. That's due in part to a system that's passing to our south, but you can see we're clearing out pretty rapidly back to the west as that rain across the Carolinas pushes out to sea. We have high pressure building in, expecting plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. We top out right in the upper 40s to around the 50-degree mark, and then we'll fall to 42 by around 6. Pleasant evening, a dry evening. We're going to see temperatures fall back into the upper 20s to lower 30s, but a beautiful weekend awaits. We're going to be near 60 degrees Saturday, but we have to talk about a little bit of winter weather as we go into the start of the week, and then a big warm-up. We'll talk about it here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. Significant erosion to Delmarva's coastal communities after the recent winter storms, and a lack of federal funding is keeping South Bethany from getting the beach replenished this year. Multiple storms this fall and winter have left shelves along the coast and made the beach even more narrow. South Bethany's mayor says the town will work with DenRec to design a new access ramp under the new conditions and find ways to get people onto the beach. But one neighbor says having a dune is better than having none at all.
I can remember a time where there were no dunes, and I mean, it's not great for the people that are right on the beach, but for being down the street a little bit, it's certainly fine.
Coastal leaders affected by the lack of federal funding say they expect to have the beaches replenished sometime in 2027. New this morning, Delaware could add 2 new alcohol license types. Senate Bill 243 would update Delaware code to create a special event license and a bottle club license. Officials say that would be for businesses that provide art experiences like painting, candle making, and other creative activities. That legislation was introduced on Thursday and has been assigned to the Elections and Government Affairs Committee. And the Delaware State Housing Authority is launching a new effort to tackle affordable housing challenges across the state. DSHA says through Senate Joint Resolution 8, 9 communities will take part in a zoning and land use reform pilot program. Those include Bridgeville, Dover, Georgetown, Laurel, Lewis, Milford, Newark, Rehoboth Beach, and Sussex County. The goal is to modernize zoning rules and increase the variety of housing options. That includes accessory dwelling units, manufactured homes, higher density development, and mixed-use projects. This comes as the Sussex County Council continues to work on recommendations to reform land use. Its land use reform task has previously represented 20 ideas to county officials, and some staffers said some of the ideas were achievable, like forest preservation. But some of the bigger items, like comprehensive rezoning, were described to be quite difficult. Another frustration voiced by council and staff is that while the county handles land use, the state handles our roads. Concrete changes could come later in the form of ordinances if council chooses to take action. International news, former President Bill Clinton will give testimony today to members of Congress under subpoena, the first time ever for a former president. The questioning comes after former President Clinton's photo and name appeared multiple times in the Justice Department's released Epstein files. The former president has said he cut ties with Epstein before learning of any of his crimes. It's important to note that neither Clinton has been accused of wrongdoing. And happening today, a blood drive in honor of Black History Month. Delaware's Legislative Black Caucus says it will host a blood drive across the state in partnership with the Blood Bank of Delmarva. Officials say this is especially important as the Blood Bank of Delmarva remains in a blood emergency. The blood bank is operating with less than a 2-day supply of blood for more than 40 hospitals across Delmarva. In Sussex County, organizers say that people can schedule an appointment at the Dagsboro location if they wish to participate. Now stay with us on Coast TV News Midday, because coming up, there's history, charity, and poetry events this weekend. We'll show you a look at some of the cool things to do.
Well, the snow that remains is going to be melting pretty rapidly here over the next few days. Near 50 today, near 60 to start the weekend. We do turn cooler second half of the weekend. Congratulations, Mark Warren of Millsboro, Delaware, on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. We'll talk about a brief round of some light snow and then a big pattern change coming next week. We'll talk about it here in minutes.
If you were mentally preparing to jump into ice-cold ocean water this weekend, well, you're off the hook. The Lewis Polar Plunge has been canceled, but there are still ways to support Special Olympics Delaware and plenty happening along the coast. Here's Coast TV's Christina DeRobertis with your cool things to do.
So you won't be running into the ocean with 20,000 people this weekend, but the Lewis Polar Bear Plunge is still bringing the fun. Saturday in Rehoboth, there's fire and ice at Atlantic Sands and a chili contest in the afternoon. And then you can do your own icy challenge at home. You can jump in the snow, you can dump a bucket of water over your head, however brave you're feeling. It's all to support Special Olympics Delaware. But if you'd rather stay dry, you can help stitch a piece of history. The Daughters of the American Revolution inviting the public to the historic Mall House in Lewis to help sew Delaware's panel for a nationwide exhibit honoring the original 13 colonies. That's happening Saturday from 10 to 4. Here's a heads up, the point at Cape Henlopen State Park closes on Sunday for nesting season, so Saturday's Get the Point Beach Walk at 11, hosted by the Seaside Nature Center, is basically your last chance to check out the point until next winter. Beer lovers, Dogfish Head Brewing and Eats is hosting a Craft Brewing Hall of Fame watch party at 3 on Saturday. They'll be live streaming the inductions because the founder of Dogfish Head is among the nominees. Or if poetry is your thing, Camp Rehoboth Theater Company has a poetry jam Saturday at 3 at the Camp Rehoboth Community Center. Tickets are $20. For event details, tickets, and more, just head over to coasttv.com and click on Cool Things to Do.
What a week we had here on Delmarva with our blizzard earlier in the week. Get some chance to recharge the batteries, so to speak, this weekend with plenty of sunshine. We just have a few high clouds across pretty much the southern portion of the peninsula. Right now we're at 38 degrees, 44 in Milton, 43 Georgetown. We're holding at 43 in Salisbury. Winds are relatively calm, but you can see the general flow is out of the east northeast. Now we've had a few clouds across the area, primarily across the southeastern portion of the peninsula, a bit more in the way of sunshine here as you make your way through the midshore through Kent County on points northward. This is just some outer cloud cover, northern cloud cover from this storm system that's pushing across the Carolinas. We're going to be dry. In fact, you can see we're clearing out pretty rapidly here, so I'm expecting mostly sunny skies for virtually everybody as high pressure builds into the region this afternoon. Highs near 50 this afternoon. It gets even better for our weekend. We start the weekend off with 50s and 60s, a little cooler by the coast, and then a cold front's going to be pushing through on Sunday, giving us a brief round of some cold air and some wintry conditions as we go into Monday night, but it's not going to last long because we are going to see temperatures warm up rather quickly in through next week. 50 this afternoon, Seaford through Georgetown, 51 in Easton, Nanticoke, 50 Snow Hill to 45 in Ocean City. So a pleasant evening. We stay dry and mostly clear overnight, but notice this. See this little, it looks like cloud cover here throughout the coast. That's fog, potential fog developing tomorrow morning. And then by the afternoon, we are basking in sunshine, temperatures upper 50s near 60, a little cooler by the beaches, upper 40s to lower 50s. And then we'll see clouds roll in Sunday. That's ahead of the Arctic front that's going to be pushing through the area on Sunday. Well, heading out to the Delmarva Job Fair on your Saturday in Georgetown, looking very nice, beginning at 10 a.m. there, 43. Wall-to-wall sunshine on our way to high of 60 degrees. And as I mentioned, a little cooler there on Sunday with some morning clouds. We'll have a northerly wind flow with some gusts near 20 miles an hour. So we've been mentioning the threat of some snow in through Monday night. It's trending weaker and trending warmer at this time. Now we have area of low pressure. It's going to be pushing moisture into the area late Monday evening, beginning as a brief period of snow, but you could see that warmer air wins out pretty quickly by Tuesday morning, 5:30. Pretty much some light rain, some scattered light rain throughout most of Delmarva with some wintry precipitation through Newcastle County on northward. So maybe we squeeze out a coating late Monday evening, but then you see by Wednesday, in the warm range there with the scattered showers, and we stay rather unsettled with on and off showers Wednesday into Thursday. And then, boy, the story is going to be the pattern change we see not only next week, but by March 6th to the 12th, we are well above normal heading into that time frame. So watching for that potential light snow in through Monday night very briefly. Then we change over to a mix and then to rain by Tuesday. So Tuesday's a rather raw day. We do have a total lunar eclipse Tuesday morning. Might not be able to see it with the cloud cover there, Grace.
Exciting nonetheless. Coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 6 p.m. UMES hosting Tuville men's basketball. Then catch the final score at 10:30 p.m. And for the first time, the Delmarva Sports Network will broadcast a game from the Philadelphia 76ers home arena. Catch all the action as the Delaware Bluecoats take on Westchester Knicks. You can watch it live at 11 a.m. on Wednesday, March 4th on DSN. And here's what we're looking forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Happy Friday, Delmarva. If you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here's what's coming your way. You better grab your dancing shoes and your time machine because we are going back in time and celebrating 200 years in Lewis. Also, we're going to be talking a little bit in the real estate world and things that you might need to know, whether you're buying a home, selling a home. We've got the experts to chat with. And because it's Friday, we're also doling out some awards with our winners of the week. All of that and more is coming your way today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Council members in Ocean City are seeking companies interested in running a seasonal pedicab service, creating an on-demand transportation option for residents and visitors to replace the tram. According to the town, the system would let riders request point-to-point trips through a mobile app, and if a company is selected in time, pedicabs could be on the boards as soon as this summer. The Point at Cape Henlopen State Park is closing Sunday, March 1st for the spring and summer season. It is closed every year since 1993 because of threatened and endangered beach nesting birds. They're migratory shorebirds, and it includes other wildlife species. Now the ocean side will reopen to the public September 1st, but Bayside will not reopen until October 1st due to the shorebirds' migration. Coming up next, panhandling ordinance outrage. What Dover city leaders decided this week and why the rules are sparking controversy. A controversial panhandling ordinance is now off the table in Dover. The city council rejecting the restrictions this week. This comes after months of debate. The ordinance would have fined people for loitering and approaching cars at intersections, and supporters said this is about driver and pedestrian safety, but opponents argue that this violates the United States Constitution.
Yes, I do feel the council made the right decision because this ordinance was wrong on many different levels.
This ordinance is an ordinance that really is about compassion for people and protecting people and about the quality of life.
The ordinance was set to take effect in July. That is now not happening.
Enjoying some pleasant conditions at Ocean View after some fog this morning. You can see all the snow is pretty much gone at this camera shot. We're at 38 right now, getting up into the lower to mid 40s along the coast this afternoon under partly cloudy skies. You can always give our Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone a call for your latest forecast. Your 10-day is up next.
And we're leaving you on a high note for Coast TV News Midday. Here is some of the cutest news that you'll hear. This season's critically endangered African penguin chicks at Maryland Zoo in Baltimore have been named. The zoo's calling it a produce aisle roll call. Let's take a look, shall we? Let's see. Here's Kiwi coming in first. Next we have Rutabaga the penguin, followed by Fig. What a cute name there. We have Pomegranate as well. Very nice side profile. Here's Guava, very fluffy penguin, and Sprout. We also have Corn, which a lot of people on social media are loving. Potato, Christopher, there is a lot of stuff. Clementine, it just keeps getting better and better. And here is Cayenne, the penguin. Chris, what do you think of these penguin names?
Very cute, and a tough decision to see which one is the best there, right? Well, I'm sure they were enjoying that cold we had earlier in the week and the snow. Well, it's quickly melting, I'll tell you that, with these temperatures. 50 today, mostly sunny skies this afternoon, 60 for Saturday. We have a cold front coming through Sunday. A little cooler on Sunday with some breezy conditions, but Monday we're down to 34 for a high with that late snow chance. Very brief period of snow possible. We're going to go over to rain by Tuesday morning, and the system looks rather weak. And then look at those temperatures by mid to late week, 50s and 60s, Grace.
Lots to look forward to. Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us for Coast TV News Midday. For more local news and weather, you can download our Coast TV News app, and don't forget to join us back here for Coast TV News at 5 later this afternoon. Until then, have a great Friday and a nice weekend.